Arsenal set Aouar deadline. Leeds move for Bayern youngster. Karius has a new club. Spurs are still solving their defensive issues, and a transfer roundup all coming up in the next few minutes. As I am your host, Matt Froelich, you are the OneFootballers, and this is the Daily News. First up, and the Lyon president has set a deadline of Friday for any team to complete deals for the likes of Aouar and Memphis Depay. Now, Lyon have been rumoured to be bringing in another midfielder and another attacker this week because, well, they're bracing themselves for bids for their two star players, but they will only sell if it's for the right amount of money. Apparently a fee of around 40 million euros was offered for Arsenal, and the president has said that it needs to be a higher figure. Whatever that number is, it needs to be higher, and this is something that Arsenal may find a little bit difficult. It was clear after last night, and even Mikel Arteta admitted it himself, that in the 3-1 loss to Liverpool, the title holders just have a better team, and Arsenal are going to need to improve if they're going to make the next step up. Of course, it wasn't that bad, like it wasn't a terrible performance from Arsenal, but it was evident that Liverpool were by far the better team. So, we've seen this before earlier in the summer. Dortmund put this deadline on Jadon Sancho moving to Manchester United. Didn't happen. He stayed with the club. So I'm pretty sure that Lyon are going to be pretty hard when it comes to sticking to this deadline. If they don't, it doesn't actually matter because it's the end of the transfer window anyway. He set the deadline on Friday. The transfer window closes next Monday at 5 p.m. So Arsenal really do have a race on their hands. Next up, Leeds United is not only making a splash in the Premier League, but also in the transfer market as well. And next up on the list is Karius, the midfielder from Bayern Munich, whose name I have definitely butchered. I'm sorry to all of you French people out there. Anyway, the midfielder probably would have thought that he had a chance of getting more games at Bayern Munich this season. I mean, Thiago left the club, so did Javi Martinez, but it looks as though he's also going to be on his way out the door. Apparently, Liga side Marseille wants him on loan, but Leeds United want to make the move permanent, and he sees it as a good chance to get into the Premier League, play loads of games, and maybe force his way into the France Euro squad for next summer. According to reports, they are quite deep into negotiations with the German champions, and it would mean that they managed to get in an attacking midfielder after their bid for Udinese's Rudiger failed. Next up, Loris Karius has a new club, and in all honesty, I'm delighted for him. Yes, it's been a few shocking years since that Champions League final for Liverpool against Real Madrid in 2018. Since then, he moved to Besiktas, a few more errors followed, didn't exactly play the best football, and then there was all this hoo-ha of his contract, which was terminated earlier this year, and now finally, he's back in the Bundesliga where he made his name with Mainz. Although this time, he's at Union Berlin. Having sold their goalkeeper in the summer to Augsburg, they needed a replacement desperately, and now they've got a very good goalkeeper. Make no mistake about it. Yes, he did have a few errors, but still, he obviously did well enough that Liverpool decided to buy him, stick with him. He's played in the Champions League final, he's got plenty of experience, and at this level, I think he'll be really, really good. It's a fantastic opportunity to show that he still belongs in one of Europe's top leagues. The deal is a loan deal, and look, Karius, no matter how well he does this season, isn't going to come back and overtake Alisson's spot at Liverpool. That's just a fact. The Brazilian keeper is one of the best in the world. But, like I mentioned, he could get him a deal to a bigger club, no disrespect to Union Berlin, or Liverpool could see him as a really good option as a backup to Alisson. I think this move has got a win-win written all over it. Following on from that though, and a move which I'm not so sure will happen, although there are quite a few rumours about it today in the newspapers, and that is Antonio Rudiger moving to Tottenham. Now, of course, Milan Skriniar is the main defender who's been linked with Spurs over the last few days, but apparently the two clubs are far apart on their valuation of the player. Inter want closer to 60 million euros. Spurs, and typical Daniel Levy, are willing to pay 30 million with a couple of add-ons. They're trying to finance more of this deal by sending Juan Foyth with Valencia interested, but it looks as though Skriniar will not be moving to North London. So, a little bit closer to home, and they could turn their attentions to the German Antonio Rudiger. Much like we were talking about Karius earlier in the show, Rudiger also has one eye on a place in the national team, the German national team, for the Euros next summer. He desperately doesn't want to lose it, and he needs to be playing regular football. Now, Chelsea have got Christensen and the likes of Zuma, who have started the season. There's also Thiago Silva, the new signing, although his debut was, let's say, not so good. The thing is, Rudiger, he needs to play, and at Tottenham, he's got more of a chance of doing it. I'm not saying he's going to be first choice at Spurs, but he's definitely got more chances got at Chelsea at being a first team regular. At the moment, Spurs' defence is, it's okay if you take away the handballs. It's okay, but it definitely could do with some improving, and honestly, I think Rudiger is a pretty good player. The only sticking issue is that it seems highly unlikely that Chelsea, knowing they've got a quality player in Rudiger, are going to let him go to a rival and strengthen that rival. They may not be direct rivals of where they're trying to finish in the league, but even so, it's a London rival. There's no way that Chelsea would be willing to let him go that easily. Maybe a loan deal would be the preferred option. Finally, then we come to a quick roundup of the rest of today's transfer news that you might have missed. And Manchester United have opened talks with Watford over Ismaila Sarr. James Tarkowski looks to complete his move from Burnley to Leicester for around £37 million in the upcoming days. Prince-Boateng has made his move to Monza in Serie B, unbelievably. And finally, Bayern Munich, who looks like they've missed out on Serginho Dest to Barcelona, have now gone back to their previous target of Norwich's Max Aarons. So there you have it then, that is all from me on today for the daily news. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Smash the like button and click here or here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, I will see you guys later.